So orgonites are like a 50-50 mix of organic material and inorganic material. So the organic material that we utilize in orgonites is called carbon, resin. That's the resin. Resin is liquid carbon. It has the same function as the carbon on our bodies. It is a filter. It absorbs all the positive ions. We don't like positive ions. Everybody out here that's saying positive vibes, positive energy, no, you don't want those. Positive ions are actually not what we want on our bodies as electron beings. We like electrolytes. We like electrons, electrodes. We're electric, which are negative charged particles. So with the carbon absorbing the positive ions, that's what our body does. We absorb positive ions in our space. We're walking filters. I know a lot of people like to talk about crabs and shrimp and lobster. Like, oh, those are sea roaches. They just eat all the dirt. Well, so do we. We eat up all the dirt out here and we help cleanse the earth. That's what we do. That's how we give back. That's why we walk on the ground. We're at the bottom, y'all. So that's what we do. And it's by design that we are in these heavily polluted areas. We work in a lot of heavily polluted areas. We live in a lot of heavily polluted areas. It's also starting to seem really intentional that a lot of warehouses and trucking spots and stuff like that are in predominantly aboriginal areas, as we kind of had the least bit of control of our land because we don't really speak up for things because we don't feel a connection with the land because we've been indoctrinated to believing that we're not the indigenous people, aboriginals. But that's a whole nother story for the other side of the game. We can talk about that later. Coming back to us being carbon based. So we filter out all the pollution, right? Pollution here, pollution there is going through our bodies. And because we had such a rich amount of carbon, sometimes our bodies can get addicted to the pollution and hold on to it. Which is why, by design, certain drugs were created and intentionally put into Aboriginal neighborhoods because the high for the Aboriginals is different, is better, it's higher. And that goes for this GMO marijuana y'all out here smoking too. Just know that it's over concentrating your melanin. Okay, moving on. So we know what carbon is. We know that we know we have carbon in our bodies. So then moving to the inorganic material. Inorganic material repels positive ions. You'll see people just walking around with crystals on, metals on, people eating herbs, putting herbs in their hair, on their bodies, whatever. What is that doing? Is pushing. Those items is like, nah, we not, push that away. Push it away. It's like two magnets repelling each other. Push that away. And that's why you see people wearing that, putting that on them. And when they get sick, what do? They ingest themselves with herbs, plants, and veggies. Why? Because those are inorganic materials that push all those positive ions, things you don't want, out, away, right? So when you combine those two things, the organic material, the carbon, with the inorganic material, you have to do it in a 50-50 manner. You can layer it. You can make little designs. You can imagine as you create it, like, okay, so the positive ions are going to come in through this way, and then we're going to go this way. You could be as intentional as you want. The more intentional you are, the better. You can't just throw a bunch of stones inside of some resin and say, all right, this is it, that's it. No, you have to be intentional with the volume to volume. Otherwise, you have it absorbing too much or repelling too much. Either way, it's not going to be a functional orgonite. It's either going to do one or the other too much. You know what I'm saying? So you want a functional orgonite. You want to layer a 50-50 layer. What I like to do is I use the measuring cups for my resin, and I see what the volume is. And then I'll do like water displacement with my crystals or with my metals to make sure that the volume is equal parts. Or you can weigh it out and do weights. It doesn't matter. I don't care as long as it's 50-50, okay? And you're being very intentional with how you're layering it and the feng shui inside of it. All that stuff matters. When you put it together, now you have this one side that's absorbing and the other side that's pushing away. You've been intentional with how you've layered it, and it's 50-50. So what happens is the items are going inside, being cleansed, and then coming out neutralized. So orgonites are an energy neutralizer. I know I have people who love to come up to my table and tell me, oh, you don't really need crystals. You don't really need orgonites. And you don't. You don't need crystals. You don't need orgonites. You don't need tarot. You don't need any of that stuff. However, a lot of us do not take care of our bodies. A lot of you guys don't even know what the melanin does. A lot of you guys don't know what carbon does. A lot of you guys don't know about the crystals and the metals that are in your body naturally, and you're not treating yourselves right. If you live in a heavy populated, a heavy polluted area, or you're around a bunch of electronics all day, you need an orgonite. If not on your body, at least in your space to neutralize what's going on. If you're living in a square box like I am right now, you need an orgonite. I know you guys like to utilize your thoughts and be confrontational and want to be right, and that's awesome. But this is to enhance what your body is already doing. This is to enhance what your mind is already doing. Why? Because we're in environments that are intentionally being built to work against us. And you have not built anything to intentionally work for you. So this is me making something to intentionally work for you. That's all. That's all I have for y'all. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Put them in the comments below. Let me know if you got a 2 cents or a 3 cents you would like to share. I'm all here for the dialogue. Just to let y'all know and remind y'all, I'll be in Philly tonight and at AMF House on York Road? I don't want to give y'all the street address and be wrong, but y'all can check out my page and y'all can see the flyer. And everything on my page is donation based, including my sessions and my classes. I can teach you guys about organites. I can teach you guys about metals. I can teach you guys about tarot. I'm also a certified herbalist. I can teach you guys about herbs, different ways to prepare them, store them, find them, things like that. I'm working on my green thumb. I can't tell y'all how to plant them yet, but I can do everything else. If you are looking for healing, I do make shopping books that you can go in the store. You can find a specific herb. And once you find the specific herbs that you need, I have like recipe books that'll tell you how to prepare them, how to store them, etc., etc. What else do? I also teach Forex if you want to learn about Forex. I also do taxes if you want to learn about one-stop taxes, business in a box, how to build business credit and real estate. I do all of that with one-stop taxes. I do a plethora of things, and a majority of those things that I'm doing right now is donation-based. Bartering is welcomed. I am raising funds to solidify the ownership of Let's Nobody's land and start building upon it different things. The intentions is to have a living situation there for tribal beings that want to live off-grid, as well as create an entertainment and edification studio building, etc., for people who want to create out there, as far as making videos, photographs, music, painting, sculptures. It's a nice space to just go out there and just be and just create. Or if you want to come out for edification courses, we will have edification courses for people of all ages, whether you're in preschool or you're 50 years old. We have all that. We'll be having retreats for our goddesses and for our gods. We'll have a space where those retreats can occur. And if you have anything that you would like to host in the middle of off-grid land on the West Coast, reach out. I'm here to work with y'all. All right. I love y'all and stuff.